So as you can see, I'm out and about. It's the first day of December, guys. And I am out and about because I happen to be doing something that I do every month. I won't say what it is, maybe another time. And it's very important. It's good for your health, and it's also good for you spiritually. But I'm walking through one of these Christmas shopping thing that they have. They set up these pop-up shops every year at various locations all over New York City. So here's one of them that I'm walking through. And hello, it's me right here. So I don't know about you guys, but Christmas just seems a little strange this year. It kind of got it's been getting strange for a couple of years now, but it got even worse this year for me. I don't know about you. And it's not that I can't celebrate and be happy, but I think one thing I love about menopause and being older, I guess for most of us, I don't know for all, because some people are still going through midlife crisis and stuff. I think I passed that a while now, and it just kind of just opened up your eyes to a lot of things. I know for me, I know it's not for everybody, because I know some older people who just act a fool still. But I'm just so much more conscious. Also being a Christian, of course, and having a real relationship with Jesus Christ. Not just a church goer, but having a relationship. I've always been very sensitive to a lot of things, just what's happening around. So Melissa is one thing that just got me looking and thinking, then all that's happening, people getting deported and ICE and from all over, people who have been in this country for many years and just never dreamed. And some people not many years, but they figured they were good, right? The other situation is the nursing and teachers' status changed from professional to just a regular, whatever you want to call it, right? Here they're skating over here, right? So it just let you know, if you don't have that spiritual eye open and your spirituality like antenna up, it lets you know nothing is guaranteed in life, and you should not live your life foolishly and frivolously and arty and cocky and arrogant and mean and selfish and evil. Melissa shows that people could work all their life and build stuff and create their home, and it can be gone, and they become homeless in just a day, right? And the devastation and and hungry and acting like, if they're not careful, if the help didn't come through, people would be probably doing the things that it's not even normal to do, and then there are people just getting picked up all over the place by ICE. Some people, I don't know how you can be in this country for years and never get your citizenship, especially when you have a green card. And I also know the citizenship don't mean anything in some ways, but I'm not even worried about it, right? I know I came here the right way. None of my family came in and doing anything illicit to get here. We all did what we have to do, and we contributed to this country. And but I know people who have done that or got picked up and thrown over. So it just show you how things can just happen anytime, and you just have to have your anchor hold and your trust and your faith in God, because anything can happen anytime, and you shouldn't be shaken or moved. Yes, as humans sometimes, but not to the point where you want to commit the S thing, the one where you don't want to be here anymore, or you strung out on start taking the D1, or drinking yourself to whatever, or just giving up on life and become reckless and just more and more, and I've been saying this for a couple of years, that this, I see it for a while, that if this is, like Paul said, if it's only in this place, this world you have hope, you will be men most miserable. And I see so much is happening. Like now this is a happy time, but it's like I'm guarded. I'm like, okay, it's a happy cherry time. It's not like when I was younger and those, I just like, it's Christmas and I love Christmas time. I love the lights and stuff, but I just have this uncomfortable feeling. And so much is going on where people losing their benefits and people are losing their jobs. And on that note, nursing and teaching. They changed its title, Board of Education the other day, it was last week or the week before, changed it from professionals. Now there are people who took out loans and go to the highest level, whatever, and I heard it, I watched and read a couple of stuff. It said it's also to, to realize a lot of people, they take out a lot of loan, they can't pay it back, and they're not even getting paid enough. I know for nursing they get paid, right? I know teaching, if you're not in Board of Education and if you're not, you don't get good pay. If you work for some like stupid private schools like I have worked for a lot of time, and the only reasons why I end up doing that, when I first started out, I didn't know the difference, right? And until I got in there, and the very first job I got messed me up with Board of Education. I said that in my last video, that because I spoke up about some behavior of some behavior of some family that owns a daycare that I was working at. The first in-classroom job I've had, it was a preschool daycare. It was a small. The woman lied on me when I got a job through Board of Education. It wasn't even exactly in the school, but it was this program they started where daycares could get this thing called, I forgot what they call it, where daycare, and they're supposed to pay on certain levels close to what the teachers will get in public schools and stuff, but a lot of them didn't even do that, because I got another job years after that cheated me. They were paying me as if I wasn't, it wasn't true Board of Education. Board of Education were paying them like say 70,000 for me, and they'll pay me like 25,000, like I swear. And they were doing a lot of this other stuff, and I get up and walk out and quit on them. Because I put two and two together, because there's certain things you have to put in the system on a monthly and quarterly basis. And I noticed they wouldn't have my own account set up where I put in the system and this observation and stuff I see of the kids that goes to Board of Education every month. They were letting me use this old teacher that was the account. And I said, no, I should have my own stuff. And when I talk to them, they say, we'll give you a little more money. And I start realizing they got getting panicky because they realized I figure out that they were doing something, and they could get in a lot of trouble with Board of Education too. And I did report them because they cheated me out of thousands of dollars, and were getting paid to pay me a certain amount, and they still didn't let Board of Education know they changed the teacher. They fired a girl, have me still set up under her name, and I figure it out. They still have me on the payroll as me and everything, but when they don't have me, Board of Education don't know I was the actual teacher for that classroom. What do they call it? What do they call it again? Universal pre-K. That's on the Board of Education. And a lot of private daycare and schools that have them, they cheat the teachers. They don't pay them the kind of 50,000, 60, 70,000 and stuff that they should be getting. They cheat them. They steal the money from them. So I warn young people who are going over there when they say they're going to teaching and they're excited. I said, don't go to these good private little schools. Most of them, maybe one or two on your where we can count, which I haven't met any yet when I was doing it, will treat you good and treat you right. Most of them don't know what they're doing, don't even have the degree and experience like you have and the qualification, and they just give you such a hard time that you end up give you such a hard time. I didn't even notice my stuff was on low all this time. That you end up, forgive me, a while ago it was on black and I didn't notice, so if you don't see no picture, that's because I don't know what was going on. Anyway, so on that note, so I was saying that was one of those, it wasn't exactly in Board of Education, it was with those pre-K, universal pre-K that supposed to pay you higher than a normal little preschool when you're just a regular preschool teacher. If it's true universal pre-K, They're governed. Those classrooms are governed by a board of education. And so when I see this thing happen with nursing and teaching, even before this happened, when COVID happened, I knew that was God protecting me. That's why you don't cry a lot of time about it. I learned now for this last decade, or a little bit maybe over it, not to get upset like I used when I was younger and sad and hurt and fight stuff and like I used to like go fight things legal and waste money. I learned that a lot of things is really protection. Because when I see when COVID happened and how teachers are losing their job or they have to take the vaccine, and when I see how the schools now deteriorate with the kids now and everything, where teachers are quitting in bulks because they can't deal with even kids at a certain age, can't read and write, don't know phonics and all kinds of nonsense, and then the bureaucracy and the foolishness that goes on. When I see a family member of mine that was very good at what she does, how she got discouraged and retire early than she should, right? And also in nursing, I have a family member years ago, a couple of decades ago. She's a nurse, and I remember when I meet up with her, I've not seen her for a couple of years. She told me she do private nursing, like she go into homes and do like the traveling nurse. She don't work, and another girl I met when I first came to this country, and we all grew up together in church. Two got out of it, and because a lot of bullying and attacking and harassment goes on, and I'm learning since this thing announcers make about them. I watch a lot of videos since then. There was a lot of cheating going on people, their spouses sleeping around with doctors and nurses and doctors and stuff, or nurses too, because men can be nurses too. And a lot of like some of them wear tight clothing and stuff. Like I didn't really pay. I'm be honest with you. I can't recall much bad treatment from any nurses. I know people say that too, that nurses are rude, and I didn't get much even when I was pregnant with my son. I don't remember getting much bad, maybe one or two, but it's not so much that I can't remember. Or it was so bad that I can't remember. Most of the time I don't get bad. Even the incident I had a few months ago, the nurses more overall were good to me. Right? So, but I see a lot of videos in social media of new nurses crying, sometimes making videos of they're mistreated, the old nurses don't want to teach them. People quit the job before as they get it, they leave them because of the treatment. So these things, it tells me you can't do evil and get away. I think Malcolm X was one who said something like the rooster come and roost, or he has a saying that he said like, so it's gonna catch up to you. And if you've been doing evil to people like the education, a lot of them do gatekeeping and nursing and shut out people like me. I get shut out of jobs over there. And now I look back, I see everything crumbling. And I say, you know what? You see, some of it is judgment. And some of it I feel sad for the people who are good people who were just never do no wrong to people, didn't be to their co-workers or newcomers to the profession or nothing like that. But a lot of these things are happening. Is judgment. If you do a lot of wrongs and listen to get where you are in life, because Proverbs talk about it, that anything that you do unjustly to get it's gonna be like gravel in your mouth. It's not gonna last. It may be sweet when you start, but it's gonna turn bitter in your mouth. And it talks about a just weight and measure and all that stuff. It talks about balance, and it's talking about honesty. So if you get certain things dishonestly, and if you also shut people out and keep people from getting jobs, which I've had a lot of that with Board of Education, and because there was twice or three times I applied, and the investigator for the first time was nasty to me, tell me, oh, why are you going to people's job? I said, lady, but it's my job to say those. I shouldn't even have to tell them that the children should be paid in the makeup. And she cussed me out and practically jeered me and mocked me. And when COVID happened, God just showed me certain things, and I said, see, it was for your protection. Yeah. So you give God thanks when people do you evil and wrongs and shut you out and gatekeep and do all kinds of evil. Trust me, payday is coming. And like I said, I feel bad for the good nurses and good teachers, but a lot of evil and wickedness go in this industry. And social worker too, I forgot about that. Like the last place I applied for the Child Protective Service, and the wicked man I make a video about it. The investigator man shut me out. Wait till a few days before Thanksgiving last year and tell me, oh, we're not offering the position again. and couldn't give me the reason on the phone. Said I'm gonna tell me letter, never send me any. When I reached out to him and said, wait, you say him send them not send no letter. And by right, I should be going after them and fight. But I started my business and I didn't even stress it out. They even went as far as send me one check for me right for almost $2 or almost $9 for something back. I was like, what? I said I spend more than that. I spend 100 and change to do my fingerprinting. I do something else. But God has get me to a place of peace and comfort. I just want to keep my eye on my stuff, making sure they're not using my information falsely, because that will I'll go off the behind for, But other than that, I really will reach a point. I don't care. I don't care, but I'm just telling you, do things right and honestly. If people do you unjustly, let me tell you, a lot of paydays happening this year, and it's going to happen every year. Who dream to see certain things with Board of Education now saying, teachers, educators, and educators and social workers and nurses are not considered professional. And then you see the other disasters that's happening. Not only did Melissa, but I think I forgot which other country. Was it the Philippines that has a big mudslide or snow, a week after that, 2 after that? I'm telling you, it's not wise to just become, yes, I'm not saying to be walking around sad and gloomy, but just kind of have your guards up and make sure you're living right and being seeking God and repent every time you sin. Because I'm telling you, it's more to come. And every evildoer is going to get paid for their evil if they don't repent. And if God chooses, because some things you do, even if you repent, it's just how the world, is how life works. You're going to get paid. You got to face the music. Sometimes God will work a miracle that you get away from it. But most of the time you have, for example, if you go rob a bank and you get baptized and give your life to God, a week after and they find you still go to jail unless God work a miracle for you. And so just and for some reason the judge give you pardon. Most of the time where you got to pay the consequences for what you do. Even if you repent sometime and turn away, depends on what it is. You go have sex outside of marriage or have sex and you do nothing to protect yourself. Guess what? You become a Christian a few weeks and a seed was planted and you're pregnant. Guess what? That's the consequences of when you have the sex, even if you become a Christian. Now the choice is for you whether you're going to keep that baby or do the stuff that's not right for you to do, right? And you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I just tell you all to keep your eyes open and close to God. If you're not close to God, have a relationship with them and do right and stop doing evil, because every evil doer I get paid. It's happening. I see it happening all this year, and it's gonna go all the way until Jesus comes. All right. So you do right, all right, and repent and I ask God for mercy for some of you who do the evil and wicked to people and wickedness, because your payday coming. Unless Jesus decides to show you, God decides to show you some mercy, you're going to get paid for it. Take care.